Pond Secrets Unveiled. When I was a child, the pond at the edge of our family estate was my sanctuary. It was a place where I would sit for hours, watching the reflections of the towering pines and the drifting clouds. But last week, when I returned home from my grandmother's funeral, something was terribly different. My reflection, once a familiar companion, now seemed to hold a secret of its own. It moved with a life that was not my own, hinting at shadows that flickered just beneath the surface. I couldn't shake the feeling that the pond was trying to tell me something my family had buried long ago. As the days passed, I became obsessed with the pond, drawn to it by an inexplicable pull. My reflection started to whisper to me in hushed tones, speaking of things I couldn't understand. It showed me visions of a woman with sorrowful eyes, standing at the water's edge, clutching a locket that matched the one my grandmother was buried with. The resemblance was uncanny, yet something about her was eerily wrong. I began to dig through old family records, unearthing journals and letters that spoke of a tragedy, a sister who had vanished without a trace. With each visit to the pond, the whispers grew louder, and the visions more vivid. I saw the woman again, her reflection now standing beside mine, her eyes pleading for help. The family had kept her existence a secret, a shameful stain they hoped would remain hidden. But she was trapped, her spirit bound to the waters, crying out for justice. The pond had become her prison, and she needed me to set her free. My reflection was no longer mine, it was hers, a ghostly echo demanding to be heard. On the final day, as the sun dipped below the horizon, I stood at the pond's edge, heart pounding with fear and determination. In my hand, I held a matching locket, the key to unlocking the truth. As I cast it into the water, the surface erupted with a blinding light, and her reflection began to dissolve into mine. The air filled with a mournful wail as the truth emerged, a family betrayal that had cost her life, a secret now revealed. The pond's waters calmed, and for the first time in days, my reflection was my own again. Yet, I couldn't shake the feeling that somewhere in those depths, she was finally at peace, her story told at last.